Say, what's cracking, everybody? On today's video, we're going to take a look at a system called SweetPotatOS. This system right here is built on Arch, and it uses a desktop called Swirl. Now, it is very similar to the Sway desktop. As you can see right here, it has the same logo as a Sway, but with a sweet potato, of course. But nonetheless, we're going to take a look at it and see what SweetPotatOS is all about. And it says right here, live graphical ISO with the Sweet Potato Swirl desktop and a Calamares installer built to revive slow old potato PCs and make them sweet again. So this system right here, this is a system that I'm going to say from the beginning of this video that this is not for a new user right here, because Swirl, Sway, whatever you want to call this desktop environment, it is a window manager. It is a Wayland window manager, and these window managers don't give you a right click or any type of button clicks on the windows themselves. So everything's going to be keybind control. Now, if you're a new user and you're comfortable with keybind controls, then by all means, this would be something that you'll want to check out. But with that said, I'm just going to say from the top that this is not something that typically when I look at a system, I'm looking at it as a new user. But common sense will tell you that this is not built for new users. Now, it's not saying that a new user cannot use it. I'm just saying that this system, just from the gate, it's not built for new users. So keep that in mind as we go through looking at the video. And of course, I'll always leave these websites in the video description. That way, if you want to check them out yourself, you can. If you want to read up on it, learn about it, you have all the info that you need right here. And since this uses the Calamares installer, I'm just going to go ahead and skip the Calamares installer and get straight into the system, because you guys have seen me use the Calamares installer a lot of times, so there's no need to drag you through that again. Of course, I am out of town right now. I am in New Jersey at the moment, so all I have with me is my laptop, so this is the only way I can do these first looks with you guys. So that's what we're doing here. So without further ado, let's go ahead and head on over to the virtual machine and take a look at SweetPotatOS. And here we are on the desktop environment on a virtual machine. As I said before, this is the Calamares installer, so I already installed it, and we are here on the desktop. So as you can see right here, one of the first things I'm going to want to do is fix my screen resolution. So let me go ahead and show you how to do that now. Well, there's a few ways to do it, but I'm going to show you the way I'm going to do it. So I'm going to use the Windows key and Enter to open up a terminal. And right here, I'm going to want to do a WLR-render, and I'm going to give it an output, and in this case it's going to be virtual1. So it's going to be a capital V and then virtual-1. Now I know this because I'm on a virtual machine, so I already know what the output is. And then the mode, I want to set it to 1920 by 1080. Now this is only going to work for this session right here, so that means that if I reboot the system, it's going to revert to the original layout. So you would have to put this inside of your configuration file. So we'll see, we'll go through that and I'll show you guys. So right here, all I'm going to do is hit enter on the keyboard. Okay, only options are accepted standalone. Okay, how about if we put some tags into it? So let me try adding 2 tags there and adding 2 tags there. Okay, so user error. As you can see, I had to add the tags right here on output and on mode, and that fixed it right there. So if I go ahead and close the terminal, as you can see, we have a full screen resolution right there. All right, as I mentioned, that's only one way of doing it. But if you want to set it up so it could be permanently, you have to do it inside of your config file. So we want to open up a file manager. So it's going to be the Windows key and the letter F. And then right here, we want to do Control H so we can find our hidden files. And then we're going to go into config, and let's see. Yeah, you're not going to find Swirl because in reality, this is the Sway desktop. I kind of alluded to that, this being Sway, and you can see right here we have a Sway folder. There is no Swirl folder because this is the Sway desktop. They're just calling it Swirl, or maybe, I don't know, it's Sway. I thought it was Sway, I figured it was Sway, and I just took it as being Sway. So right here, I'll open up the config file. It's going to open up a Genie. And let's see, do we have a section here for monitors? Sometimes the config file will have something already set up and you just have to uncomment it. And then sometimes you have to forcefully edit it. So let me see, I'm not seeing nothing right here. And I'm going to put display monitor. Now I was going kind of fast and I probably skipped it. It's probably in there already, but I'm just gonna put my own, and then I'm gonna put output virtual-1, and of course the mode is gonna be 1920 by 1080. And I don't think I have to put an ampersand behind it because I don't see that anywhere else. Alright, so let me go ahead and now save this. Alright, I can go ahead and close that and close that. Alright, so yeah, as you can see right here, it looks like it's going to be using Waybar. Again, I could be wrong. Let's go ahead and open up the file manager again. Do we have a folder for Waybar? We do not. So what bar is it using? Is it going to be XFCE? Because there are some XFCE settings right here. So which bar is it using? I guess I could go to Sway, go back to config. Alright, let me see if I can find what it's using. I can see the set menu, configure app launcher. Let's see. I see the wallpaper, and I do see this exec always. So I'm wondering if that would be the command to put right here. Nope, I'm doing something wrong here. Cut that, and I'm going to put it under my command because I forgot to put it. I was supposed to put that from the beginning, but it's there now. So, all right, let me see if I can find something right here that points towards the what you call it, the panel itself. Is it? I don't know. Is it Sway bar? I'm not too familiar when it comes to Wayland desktops and things like that. So, they have their own set of tools that they use. So maybe it's just part of the desktop environment itself. This sway swirl, whatever you want to call it. Maybe it's just part of it. But let me just take a gander right here. Typically, every time you want to find something, you'll find it right here in your config file. And I can see right here, status bar, position top. So this is the bar right here. So sway scripts status.sh. All right, so this right here, this part of the code right here sets up this panel. Right here it's called a bar, but it's the panel. That's in reality, that's what it is. All right, so let's see if I want to change it to the bottom. I'm guessing that I could. So let me go ahead and save that. Save. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick reboot. So Control-Shift-E. Well, I'm going to log out, I should say. Control-Shift-E, Mod-Shift-E. There we go. Yes. All right, let me go ahead and enter my password and just log back in. And now the panel is on the bottom. not only is the panel on the bottom, as you can see, it opened up in 1920 by 1080. So that worked. And this is why we say that these systems are not made for new users. Did you see everything I had to go through just to make a simple change, just to find something, just to make changes to the system? You have to get into your config files, and you have to dig deep, and you have to make everything manual. And that's how you use your system. But of course, right here, you have keybinds. So this will make it a lot easier for you. But 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to get into that config file. What they should have done right here, what all Wayland window managers should do, is always have a keybind so you can get to your config file, because that's where the majority of your work is going to go. And this is why these type of systems are not for new users. New users need to understand that when it comes to window managers, especially Wayland window managers, it's a lot harder to deal with the systems. In reality, it's not hard. It's just that you have to know what you're doing. If you don't know what you're doing, if you come straight from Windows over here, you're lost. You're not going to know what to do. Without these keybinds, you don't know what's up, you don't know what's down, you don't know what's left, you don't know what's right. You're just in a world of loss, and you have to figure everything out as you go. And that's why these systems are not made for new users. But for seasoned users, these are great systems. Me personally, I stick with OpenBox because OpenBox has right-click menus, left-click menus, middle-click menus. That's the way I like to operate my systems. If you want to operate your system like this with no clicks on the desktop at all, not even on the panel, as you can see, right-click, left-click, middle-click, there's absolutely no clicks at all anywhere on this desktop. I'm clicking all over the place and nothing happens. The buttons, maybe right here on the internet, nope, there's nothing there either. So your mouse is completely useless right here. You can use it to navigate if you open up your file manager or open up apps, but it is completely useless right here. All right, so let's see. There was a menu right here that I saw. I think I saw a menu. So to open up the terminal, it's going to be mod return. That opens up the terminal. To close any window, it's going to be mod and Q. And of course, mod is going to be the super Windows key. So mod plus whatever key. But there is an app launcher. It's right here, mod plus space. So let me click the Windows key and the space bar, and you can see it's right up here. So basically, this is a type to search menu. I don't know if that makes sense to you, but you have to type and it's going to search, and once it finds it, it opens it up. So in this case, I'll do Firefox. You can see it finds Firefox, hit enter on your keyboard, hit enter, there you go. There's Firefox. So you can see how that works. You have to know what you're doing on these window managers. Again, I'll do this in mod. Let's see, it would be easier if you had a visual menu that you can look at, because then you can see everything that's on the system. But take a look at the panel on top where the search is at. This is not a panel, this is actually a search. So you can use your arrow keys, and you see how it's being highlighted. So this is actually your menu right here. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is probably Rofi. It's just a modified version of Rofi, because you can pretty much go to whatever you want. In this case, I'm highlighting GIMP right here. I'm going to hit enter on my keyboard, and it should open up GIMP, and of course it does. So that's how this menu system works, this application menu. Do the Windows key, space bar, and then from here you use your arrows and you navigate to whatever it is you want to open up. If you have a lot of applications, you're going to do a lot of scrolling. If you don't, then... But then again, of course, you can just start typing and you'll open up whatever it is you want to open up. All right, so now we got GIMP opened up. I can go ahead and close that. This is just an example. And of course, to close it, you notice there's no buttons anywhere, so you can close the window itself. Again, you have to get back into the keybinds, the Windows keys and the letter Q, and boom, as you can see, it closes it. All right, so let me go ahead and hit escape. That's going to close the application launcher, the search, whatever you want to call it. It closes it. All right, you guys, so my thoughts on the system, it's fine. It works the way it's supposed to work. Everything works. I don't know if there's an actual like software manager, at least nothing that I saw right here. I mean, let me try PAMAC. Nope, there's no PAMAC. Let me try Discover. there's no Discover. So how would you get those installed? And I felt that it was kind of out of place, but there is a software manager here. Bizarre. I just caught it with the last corner of my eye, and it just, I don't know. It's just the name of it, Bizarre. It's kind of like a weird name for a software manager. But let me go ahead and click on that, and it should open up a file manager. Not a file manager, a software manager, because that's where I was going with this. Sorry, I'm just blabbling here, but, you know, I have to think, because I have to think about key bindings and how to open things. So, you know, you're going to use your brain a whole lot more when you're using a system like this, and this is the result. But I did notice that I saw Bizarre, and when I was gonna go ahead and try to install Discover, and then, I don't know, it was like a little picture in my head told me, wait a minute, didn't you just see Bizarre? And here we are here now, taking a look at Bizarre. Now, granted, if it doesn't work, it doesn't work, you know what I mean? We're waiting for it to work. I remember the last time I had to get in here and actually we had to set up Bizarre the last time I took a look at it. So I guess we just have to wait for this to go ahead and finish loading or refreshing or whatever it's doing before we can even do that. And there you go. And again, I am wrong again. I'm thinking about the Cosmic Store. The Cosmic Store is the one you have to set up. Now Bizarre is already set up. So if you want to install some software right here, you know, you can just go through here. For the sake of this video, let's see, I think everything with a check mark is already installed, if I'm not mistaken. So we would just want to find something without a check mark. So let's see, what do we want to do? Let's do VLC. We're going to click on it. We're going to click on install, but before I do that, I want to see if it shows where it's coming from. I can see nothing that gives me any info as to where it's coming from. So, but I'm going to assume that this is FlatHub. Let's just go ahead and assume that, and we'll click on install, and right now it's going to install VLC. Okay, this installer has been going for like 10 minutes, and it feels like the installer is stuck. We've been right here at the same position for almost 10 minutes, and really nothing's happened. So I've just been waiting here, waiting for it to finish installing, so we can see if Bizarre works and it installs VLC. So I'll go ahead and I'll just continue waiting, because it did just move a little bit, so I'll just continue waiting. Okay, and now for some reason it's asking for my password, so I'll give it the password, and it looks like it's done now. Alright, so it took about 10 minutes to install VLC. You know, typically they install a lot faster than that, but let me go ahead and close that. And let's go ahead and open up a terminal. Let's try to install something with the terminal. So we'll do sudo pacman-s, and we'll do htop. Give it the password. Okay, LinuxHub is not in the sudoers file, so this system is not set up with sudo. It's probably using something else, so let's just do su, and then I'll give it my password. Alright, then I'll do pacman-S, and I'll do htop. Okay, that's going to work, so we'll go ahead and install htop. So now all I have to do is type htop, and we can see what our resources are. And you can see, as far as memory, we are only using 500 plus megabytes. This system, I only gave it 4 gigabytes because, you know, it's built for potato systems. So, you know, I gave it at least 4 gigabytes of RAM. So, you know, so we get some type of work out of it. And as you can see right here, the load averages are all, you know, all less than 5. All right, so I'll go ahead and close the terminal. All right, so there you have it. You know, it's basically Sway. You know, it's just a Sway desktop. And as far as any special features, I didn't see any special features. It's, you know, simple and straightforward. You know, it's one of those systems that you build from the bottom up, and then you do whatever it is you want with your system. So with that said, if you're new to the channel, please go ahead and subscribe. If you enjoyed this video on Sweet Potato Linux, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy this video, by all means, give it a thumbs down. It's all fair game here on LinuxHub Prime. And tomorrow is my last day of training, and then the following day I get on a plane and I'm back to California. So I hope to get to see you guys soon, and it'll be all looking a whole lot more normal. All right, you guys, and I'm out.